Hello, everyone. It's really easy to understand Bulgarian. It's pretty similar language. Well, I'm Майда Шабета. I'm from Bosnia and Herzegovina. And I'm not life scientist. I think I'm the only one in this room. Please raise your hand if you are not life scientist. Okay, now I can speak. I don't mean KG members. Others? Okay, yeah, great. Well, I thought it's going to be embarrassment for me to talk about alternatives and life science, and, you know, I have no idea what is anatomy, what is pharmacology, nothing. But I know a lot through these alternatives. I'm going to tell you a little bit of my story and about this conference and some conferences from before and what happened in my country 3 years ago, and something also happened 20 years ago. Well, I basically am typical animal rights campaigner. I joined this just because I wanted to save animals. I only cared about that. And I, of course, I'm not that kind of a fanatic that thinks that we just need to save animals and that's it. I also have been a nerd all my life, so I always respected science. Wait a minute, how do I change slides? Oh yeah, here. I just love them. I put pigeons for a purpose because that was, there was one information I got from students of biology in my city. In 2009, I did survey through the university. We also have faculties like you. We are old school system just like you. You know, ex-Yugoslavian system, Bulgarian systems are pretty much same, just like Belgrade, Croatia, right? So while conducting this survey at biology, students were running towards me and begging me to stop it. They told me, and that was the very first time I heard what actually students do to the animals. Cutting pigeons' heads, opening frogs while still alive, dissecting mice, of course, opening them, cutting them alive, and so many horrible things. But of course, I'm not a scientist, so how am I supposed to talk about it? And I can't really approach, you know, a professor and start talking against it. And I know Latin, but not that kind of Latin. And then I heard about internish. And I stressed this out to Nick 14 years ago. And he told me I must come to the World Congress against alternatives in life science. Yeah, that's the correct name, right? It was a very long time ago. And I entered the room for the first time. I saw many different things, a lot of students. And the Congress had 30,000 participants, right? It was industry, you know, pharmacy, medical scientists, from all over the world. You can go to this very Congress as well. It's happening every year as far as I know. And you'll find many professors, many scientists over there. But of course, this was about education. So we had one room with all possible alternatives from back then over there. So I myself learned how to suture wounds. And there I found out that students in this part of the world actually take dogs from the street, they cut them open and suture wounds while they are still alive. But there was an alternative, and me, not really into science, I learned how to suture wounds. And I also found this USB, that's red, but it's a USB. And oh my God, it's for pharmacology. So it's not only for veterinarians, it's also for pharmacy students. Medical students did some experiments on me, but I don't remember exactly what they did, but I know they were happy. And I was happy, unharmed. And I remember many professors. I even remember one professor from France, very interested into alternatives. But this thing, it didn't look like this when I entered the room for the first time. It was on a huge beamer. Just imagine technology 14 years ago. I entered the room. There was a huge dog head, rotating, and students from the laptops were clicking on its head. And you see nerves and whatever else. And I swear, if I had the time to play with this, I would go to Pamela and pass the anatomy within a month. Although I don't care about anatomy, that's not my life, right? And this is modern type of this software. As you can see, the image is not so well, so you don't see what it's actually saying. And you heard today how many amazing alternatives there are. And if you just Google them, you'll be amazed. And Pamela, maybe you can challenge me. I can try passing exam in a month if I would have the time. Maybe you can give me 6 months, not 30 days. I mean, you know, traveling and stuff. Also, there are so many softwares there. Of course, I have no idea what is this for. I know it's I know it's for physiology, and I heard at the conference in Sarajevo 2 years ago by assistant professor that this thing has 700 functions, right? Wow. And then I heard that it's impossible for students to learn such a thing without this, by using only animals. And yeah. Suddenly, Nick remembered that I was from Sarajevo, and there is a leg in this image. And when he remembered, he said, hey, this leg was produced in Sarajevo. And I was like, wait a minute, I'm from ex-communist country. What do you mean this was produced in Sarajevo? And of course, I only heard the name, but nothing else. Where's this coming from? Who did this? Nothing. And well, now, I'll come back to this leg very much, and thanks to this leg, we are here today. It's a dog's leg, and it's used to practice drawing blood, right? And as far as I know, in Eastern Europe, you do that on a living dog. Oh my God, I'm very sensitive on blood. Even though I'm 40, when I have to give my blood, I faint. So imagine that poor dog, and how many dogs have to faint for education. And this leg changed the time. Oh, wow. Some years later, because I'm not only working in this field, I'm also fighting for animals in other topics, you know, mainly fur. Who's wearing fur here? No one, I hope so. Well, I wanted to finally introduce alternatives to Bosnia. And I remembered there was this leg in Rome. And Nick told me the full name. I did research a little bit, but then he told me he was a professor at veterinary faculty Sarajevo. Oh, wow. I have to reach out to him. But I was late. He died from formalin. I actually found out that he died from a cancer caused by formalin. Oh my God. But I met the team. And the team told me that they already have many alternatives. Thanks to this guy. And he produced this like 20 years ago. Now we live in 2023 GPT era, AI. Do you have GPT on your phone? Anyone? GPT-4, not the old one from 2021. I mean, students, do you? If you do, can you take your phone out and ask it, what does GPT think about alternatives? You're going to be surprised. But please don't use it to cheat on your exam. So, this man, 20 years ago, and today we have artificial intelligence. You can't imagine how much these alternatives have developed within this scope. So what happened? I was surprised to find out that they're already using PhysioX. That they introduced me to the workshop where this leg was created. And I met Pamela for the first time. It was amazing. They have a museum, like really huge museum. But unlike veterinarian faculty, others are not so into it, mainly because they don't have the money. And I hear this from every part of Eastern Europe. Doesn't matter. We decided to work on getting all alternatives to veterinarian faculty because they were very much ethical. They were very much into replacing animals, not only for formal reasons, but because it was proved to be a better way. As I said, PhysioX was presented at our conference in 2020 together with them by a professor who told us that it's got 700 functions. And this conference today is actually daughter of this conference. That day, thanks to Doctors Against Animal Experiments who donated the money, unfortunately, just like Bulgaria, I believe so, we have so complicated administration and bureaucracy. You give up from basic things because you have to go here and there, drive 56 kilometers to get one paper. And they had to donate to my former organization. We had to purchase the 3D printer and then donate to veterinarian faculty at the conference. The conference had the name Ibrahim Arnautovic, who died. That's him. That's the conference 2020-2021. And since that day, veterinarian faculty has become a hero of the region. Of course, after Belgrade and Serbia, because they have banned using animals in experiments. Now there are ways how biology and others are trying to get the alternatives. Well, if you're asking me about medical and pharmacy, they don't have at all any equipment. That's their main problem. Our pharmaceutical faculty doesn't even have a building. But biology, they want the models. And what we do, because our country doesn't have money, we have super difficult bureaucracy. Biology department is about to get grants and purchase models from veterinarian faculty. That's how it works. So the money shouldn't be the reason. There are also so many grant opportunities in the world. And if you still struggle, you can reach out to Internish, to me directly, through Kai, doesn't matter. We can talk about it. And yeah, finally, I tried Jerry many times. The hero that stayed at veterinarian faculty until now, you took it away. That's the dean. And what happens is that still, as I'm not good with life science, there's one function with Jerry, and as I love animals, and I have 4 cats, of course it's not the same, cats and dogs, doesn't matter. But imagine if I find a sick dog. Jerry told me how to recognize that it's a sick dog. Me. And then I can call veterinarian or not. Maybe it's nothing. Maybe he's thirsty and that's it. And I think you should try to. Thanks.
I wanted to ask you if you can tell us why countries like Germany are still on the top of all countries who still use animals and not alternatives.
I will answer this partially, but I believe that Dilyana from Germany actually can answer it better. But what I think is that Germany has no idea what's going on in the world. That before you answer this, Dilyana, I have to say, and I believe that it's similar here, that our doctors don't live in Bosnia, they live in Germany. They graduate in Bosnia and immediately leave for Germany. That means that our educational system is way better than theirs. And I believe yours too. Is it the same case in Bulgaria that your experts are actually leaving Bulgaria and going to better places? Not really because you're in the EU. But I think Dilyana is going to answer this question about Germany better because I don't live in Germany.
I'm still a PhD student, so I can't really represent what the faculty in the university would have a final say, but I do believe that they would agree because our university, Trakya University, is accredited by IAEV. So in order to comply with the modern standards for teaching and education of veterinary students, I believe that the right path towards the future would be cruelty-free.
Great. Let's see 2024 with a lot of cruelty-free universities in Bulgaria. Thanks. And I think, I have more questions.
Yes.
Okay, great.
Yeah, I remember 2020 and your determination, so I was really stunned with your energy. You partially answered, but I wanted to ask you, what were effects of the conference? You said about this veterinary faculty's contract, but did you have some domino effect, or what was the outcome?
I think this is better question for Pamela because she felt a lot of this domino effect with other faculties. It's still a little bit going slow, but given what's happening over there with bureaucracy and stuff, especially with pharmaceutical faculty without equipment, buildings and stuff, but we're trying to pursue biology because they are the most difficult in the world, of course, not just in Bosnia. We'll see what happens because some time ago they said they want alternatives, but then now they're like, avoiding and coming back. But we will see for them to purchase alternatives from veterinary faculty through the ministry. And I believe that domino effect is also this conference, and hopefully for the rest of the region.
Thanks.